Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, the evidence, I believe, is mounting. Ripple becoming a bank. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook for exclusive content. Right now, $862 billion market cap. It's up 5.8%. Good morning, everybody. 16,500 plus for Bitcoin right now. It's up 4.5% in the 24 hours. Up 6.6% is Ethereum at 1,100 plus. And we see XRP is up 3.3% in the 24 hour at 37 cents. Again, Uphold announces, this is what I got in my email right here. It says, Uphold, baby, your virtual Uphold card is instantly available in your app and allows you to convert any asset you have in your Uphold wallet into dollars. And let me tell you what else your Uphold wallet can do. It can get you private equity if you're accredited at Link2. Don't forget that. And all the links underneath. And it's a 4% cashback paid in XRP on every purchase. Yeah, I'll be viewing my card after this video. Click the link underneath. Here is an opener right here. I want you to hear this. The mission for Bitcoin has never been more important. And they're talking to Natalie Brunell. But you know what? Just listen to what she says here. And shout out to Charles Payne for this interview.
The work is in education, and never is it more important than when moments like this happen. And my reaction to all of this really is lock them up. And I don't just mean SBF, I also mean lock up your coins. This is the importance of self-custody. And I think never has the value proposition and the mission of Bitcoin been more important. And so people are learning. They're actually taking self-custody. I think it's happening in record numbers, but we should have never seen this. This was absolutely egregious, and this was fraudulent and should not be accepted. They have to be held accountable. I think people
FTX absolutely does have to be held accountable. No, I agree with a lot of, I agree with a lot of what she said here. You know, get your assets on cold storage. I use Ledger. I have a Ledger Nano S, and I think they have now that they discontinued that. You can get the Ledger Nano S Plus, and then you can get the Ledger X, Nano X, right? And then they have so many great deals. Black Friday special on it. Click the link, protect your assets, especially during a time like now, right? All right. And I've got some work to do also, by the way. I have some assets I need to get further assets that I've collected, bought, and stored onto my Ledger too. Because every so often I accumulate, and I'm like, you know what? I need to get some of that moved to my cold storage. I need to quit messing around and get the rest of it on cold storage. You don't know who's going to be next. FTX, however, they obviously were next. And executives are heading to Delaware courtroom later this morning for their first appearance before a bankruptcy judge. Let's take a listen to this.
Meantime, FTX executives heading to a Delaware courtroom later this morning for their first appearance before a bankruptcy judge. A lot of creditors and customers there hoping that the hearing will try to shed some light on just how this bankruptcy is planning to, and exchange trying to deal with the debts and customer funds, and whether that money has gone to money heaven. Eamon Javers joins us now with more. Eamon.
Yeah, Andrew, that's really the question. We're here in Wilmington, Delaware this morning, where we are expecting that the court will begin a bankruptcy proceeding here that will begin to shed some light on those big questions around this enormous mystery of FTX. What happened here? So far, we don't know so much about this case. We don't know really how many creditors there are here. We don't know ultimately how much money FTX is going to owe. We hope to find some of those answers later today. Here's what we do know, though. This bankruptcy hearing is the first in this process. It begins this morning at 11 a.m. It's going to be held before Judge John T. Dorsey. Now, Judge Dorsey has, interestingly, already presided over a crypto bankruptcy case, so he has some experience in this area, which is rare. We haven't seen that many of these. And so the big question is, what could we learn here? Some more detail into FTX's finances, how much FTX owes all of those creditors, maybe even how many creditors there are here. And then a potential decision regarding the venue. Where is this bankruptcy going to play out? It's possible that it could be here in Wilmington, possible maybe in New York. Obviously, there's some jurisdictional issues involving the Bahamas in play here. So all of this will begin to shed some light. What we expect from the agenda that they've released so far for the hearing today, Andrew, is that we're going to get a lot of the basic blocking and tackling of an enormous bankruptcy. How do they pay their employees? How do they pay their vendors? How do they keep the doors open and continue to operate the business while they're in bankruptcy? A lot of that is going to get sorted through today, but we're going to be looking through those filings and listening to what the lawyers say at 11 o'clock today to see if we get any more insight into just how much money is missing here and how much they've already been able to lay their hands on, Andrew.
And the question is whether they'll be able to continue to operate and whether somebody will come in and do some kind of a bailout. We will see, and we will obviously follow it closely. FTX's collapse is not a failure, says Tom Emmer. He lays it down here. But I tell you something, I'm playing this clip because I want to, look, I'm not giving anybody a pass. Tom Emmer's been very vocal about what's wrong with crypto and what's right. But now it's time for us to put the lip service aside, and we need to see action. In all respect to Tom Emmer and Patrick McHenry and all these people who claim that they haven't been able to do anything because the Dems have been in power. Well, you know what? It's your time to shine. Don't let us down.
Joining me now, Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer. First of all, congratulations on your new role as Majority Whip. I can't wait for some of the ideas that you're going to bring to that job. But I want to talk about this because you've been at the forefront of this long before the you-know-what hit the fan. Let's start by playing a portion of a recording of a conversation that was recalled by CME President Terry Duffy. And it's got some shocking things in here about a conversation he had with Sam Bankman-Fried. Take a listen.
And this is quite shocking.
Let me be your risk manager. I'll clear it to make sure it's done properly. He says, well, you won't deploy my model. I said, your model is crap. Why would I deploy a model that's going to introduce risk to the system? He turned me down, flat out turned me down. And that's right away I said to him, I said, you know what, you're a fraud. You're an absolute fraud. I went to Congress. I've never seen a Washington, D.C. like I saw that time, from the regulators to the members of Congress, singing hymns that I never heard before. He said that you could lose 85 to 90% of your value overnight. And I said, he will not commit to keeping this just to crypto. I said, the reason is because he wants to deploy it across all asset classes. I said, that is a biblical disaster if you people allow this to happen.
I guess the question, Congressman, is why did you people allow this to happen?
I love Charles Payne for asking that to him. Why did you allow it to happen?
Well, we did not. And Terry is a good...
I'm unfortunate. Yeah, you did.
Friend. He does a great job at CME. He's one of the good guys in the marketplace. And it's interesting because we've had a good relationship for the last couple of years. You can ask Terry. My office has been heavily involved in this area, as you know, Charles, for more than just the last couple of years. We've been heavily involved since I came to Congress several years ago. Terry never said that directly to me, but I'll tell you what. Terry is one of the good guys, and when he goes to Sam Bankman-Fried and he offers him tens of millions in customer accounts and returns for managing his risk, and Sam Bankman-Fried turns him down, he's got the right to have the red flags go up. This literally is not just a failure of FTX, it's a failure of CFI, that's known as centralized finance. It is not a failure of crypto. This is a failure of, it's a failure of Sam Bankman-Fried. It's a failure of business ethics, and it's a failure of the government oversight and regulatory procedures.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring that up because you've always been a champion of technology, the role that it's played in the prosperity of Americans. And you've been a very strong critic of Gary Gensler. You've urged accountability. What's gone on there? Why? I mean, what do you think? What are they telling you about the inability to add clarification to this issue, making it worse?
We've got major questions, Charles. I mean, look, Gary Gensler and the SEC, apparently they had meetings last March with Sam Bankman-Fried and executives from FTX and a trading firm here in the U.S., and they were working apparently with Sam Bankman-Fried and others to give them special treatment from the SEC that others aren't getting. And they announced a partnership with this trading firm last April. We kept trying to find out what exactly the partnership is all about. We didn't get those answers. And obviously, Sam Bankman-Fried then was pushing special treatment legislation through Congress. And when it was finally revealed what it was, and the industry actually started raising red flags all over the place, that's when this thing came apart. And it's really a failure, it appears, of Gary Gensler to actually deal with the bad guys. You got to ask yourself, Charles, where was he on Celsius? Where was he on Voyager? Where was he on Terra Luna? And now, where was Gary Gensler on FTX? Yeah. This is exactly what he's supposed to be doing. And Terry was talking about that. What is the regulator responsible for this doing, going after good actors in the community and working backroom deals, it appears, with people who are doing nefarious things?
Representative, we got less than a minute to go, about 30 seconds.
And there you have it. Now, I got to give it to him. He has always been an advocate for technology. He's been the only congressperson to acknowledge that XRP is not a security. He's not been afraid to say it. So, look, it's not to come down hard on Tom Emmer here, but, you know, it is very frustrating as a retail investor in this space to see all of this wrongdoing go on, to have so much be exposed, whether it's ETHgate, the free pass, whether it's FTX's collapse, and what appears to be regulatory capture of the SEC at the very least, and to see Congress people, no matter who it is, put the procedural protocol of Congress's slow motion and slow moving boat in front of all of that feels really, really wrong. And then we see all of the loss that takes place to the people who've lost the money, right? And where's it gone? Just like Andrew Sorkin said, did it go to money heaven, right? Where is it? Let's change gears very quickly here, because there are good things happening in the blockchain space while we're dealing with the dysfunction and the meltdowns that are taking place here in the United States, and certainly it's cascading around the world. But Tokenized Gold, powered by XDC XinFin Network, is exciting to me. I want to give you just a piece of this very quickly here. I tell you, you know, finding this out was a very positive moment for me, because I am a XDC holder, not financial advice, but I was like, you know what? Okay, bring it. Comtech Gold tokens will be created on XinFin Protocol blockchain network based on the deposit of physical gold bars located in the DMCC approved vaults. And essentially, this is over in Dubai's DMCC has partnered with Comtech Gold to digitize the trading of gold by tokenizing the precious metal backed by physical gold bars registered by DMCC TradeFlow. Now, that is remarkable. I wanted to share this. Basically, a partnership with DMCC is an exciting moment for us as we continue to grow with 122 kilograms of gold already tokenized. And I had to go do the conversion because I don't know what the hell the conversion is unless I look it up. But that's about 268 pounds worth of gold already tokenized. I'd say they're out of the gate on this one. And it's not, you're not putting this genie back in the bottle, which means it's where the world is going, right? If gold didn't see it, they wouldn't do it. That's the way that would go. All right, now to change gears once again about the conversation of Ripple potentially becoming a bank. The conversation, I believe, gets more serious to entertain. It doesn't mean that it will absolutely happen, but I certainly believe it's a conversation worth having here. Homeland Security from Nathan Price here. Users cannot invest in Ripple. They actually mean XRP. This was back in 2014. Homeland Security Enterprise, 2014, December 31st, right? If you go to this section here where he talks about the Ripple protocol serves as a payment system, currency exchange, remittance network to process financial transactions. It allows users to send any fiat currency, cryptocurrency, commodity, and other unit of value, frequent flyer miles, credit card rewards, anywhere in the world free of charge, like Bitcoin. Ripple XRP is based on a consensus algorithm and is not controlled by a centralized institution or government. Users cannot invest in Ripple Ripple also serves as a bridge currency. They mean XRP in that statement. This was in the early days before really declaring that the token was XRP itself, right? XRP has served as a bridge currency, meaning it can convert currencies and otherwise are unable to transact together. As of July 14th, there were 8.2 billion XRP in circulation. So the notion that, they really, and I think what Nathan's pointing to here, and Nathan, forgive me if I've gotten it, if I've missed the plot, but I think I follow you here, is that he's suggesting that, the early days, there was at least entertained that, not everyone would be able to ultimately hold the asset, is the suggestion there, right? And that is quite interesting. And I'm going to play something for you in a second here that's a throwback, but it is certainly entertaining to listen to here. And let's take a look at this. We know Bank of America is waiting for the court case to settle before using Ripple's on-demand liquidity products. This from Riz. And you know what? That's based on this article and the reporting that we got from Nick Burafedo from Swell, comments from Brad Garlinghouse about Bank of America and about how Bank of America really could get a step forward, I think is basically the suggestion here, to be able to compete on a whole new level by using Ripple's software and, I believe, the XRP ledger and protocol. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I wanted to show you this clip right here, which is from apparently a Twitter space. And I want you to listen to what John Deaton lays out. And I think Riz rightfully asked a question here. Is Ripple becoming a bank? Listen to what he describes here as evidence.
A lot of people don't know this. In 2013, Chris Larsen, then CEO of Ripple, held a meeting where he gave a presentation, and guess who was there in 2013? The SEC, the CFTC, the Fed, the Treasury Department, all of those people, all the regulators of the United States for financial markets. FinCEN was there. Okay, they were all present, and he discussed how he envisioned XRP and how it was going to be used to solve, payments issues and cross-border payments, blah, blah, blah. That's 2013. And then people need to realize what I pointed out to the judge, which Ripple did as well, that 2015, actually, what I point out, and because you never know if the judge knows this, but in 2014, 1 year after that Chris Larsen presentation, the Government Accountability Office, okay, the GAO, described XRP itself, by itself, with other, as a, quote, virtual currency utilized in a decentralized payments system. Okay, that's 2014. Mm-hmm. So then we get the next year, and then FinCEN happens, and XRP becomes the first regulated cryptocurrency in the United States. So everybody talks about, there's no regulation. Nope, XRP was regulated more than Bitcoin, right? Because FinCEN said this is a convertible virtual currency, and told Ripple, it says, and I've read the documents, I gave it to the judge, Ripple shall means you have no choice, shall register all XRP sales through FinCEN and comply with the banking secrecy laws, the BSA, and banking laws, basically. AML, know your customer, all that, not securities laws. And so
that is remarkable, and shout out to John Deaton and all he does. But now let's go to a throwback really quickly and we'll wrap. But you need to hear this. And listen, John Deaton's a lawyer, right? He's sharing facts that have been shared with the judge. So quite compelling, the information here. Take a listen to this.
Putting XRP in different hands, right? So it starts to proliferate a little bit inside of the ecosystem, so that people then have a vested interest in making it work, right? So you start to tie those incentives together. We want to be more transparent with what we're doing with the XRP in terms of institutional buyers, if we sell any, if we buy any. I want to start to give the market that clarity. There are some things that I can't do, right? I can't give names to people like that, we've transacted XRP with, Because that's not, there's NDAs and there's confidentiality agreements. So there are limits to how much we can say in terms of institutional buyers, if we sell any, if we buy any. There are some things that I can't do, right? I can't give names to people like that, we've transacted XRP with, because that's not, there's NDAs and there's confidentiality agreements. If we partner with folks and there's a payment involved, it happens through XRP. In terms of institutional buyers, if we sell any, if we buy any, I want to start to give the market that clarity. There are some things that I can't do, right? I can't give names to people like that, we've transacted XRP with, because that's not, there's NDAs and there's confidentiality agreements. So there are limits to how much we can say. And, maybe banks get to a point where they're comfortable dealing at digital asset exchanges because these, like Bitstamp, for instance, is fully regulated and they have banking relationships, and definitely the worlds are coming together. So I think we'll get to a point where, banks, no problem, will connect, to Coinbase or Kraken or Bitso or, whoever it is, and source liquidity that way. Or, the other alternative could be that as this space grows and as liquidity for XRP grows and we get closer to that goal of institutional standard, places like a Bloomberg Tradebook or an FX All or a Reuters Direct, they start to list digital assets. Now, these are very traditional capital markets FX liquidity pools. If we get to that point, then it becomes very easy for a bank to run a payment through the ledger, right?
What's interesting about that comment is he's talking about institutional trading desks.
But really, it's all liquidity dependent.
Just saying institutional trading desks don't serve retail. That doesn't mean that that's the way it is. He's like talking about one way or the other, like he doesn't know which way it'll break. Obviously, if you don't know, this is Miguel Villas, the former head of XRP Global Markets, talking. And, it's, thinking of it the way it is today and where we are in this moment today, I've always believed XRP is a virtual currency. I've had to entertain some not fun outcomes about the possibility of our investment. And I think it is the smartest way to approach this, whole thing, because you want to see all sides. But, will they become a bank? Take a listen to what he says here.
Which is really what you're solving for with respect to the cross-border payment with XRP. So I guess a long-winded way of saying, I'm not sure we'll ever get rid of all of it and sort of let it all out into the wild, partly because there is some utility for us or maybe some other, organization having it to make sure that the markets are always liquid.
You're damn right, because when you're holding it, like Brad Garlinghouse told us, as zero on their balance sheet, and then they sell it for a profit, it's like that you're selling a product to somebody, right? You're not selling a security. You're actually just selling a product that you have. That to me is pretty remarkable. And isn't it good monetary policy to hold some back like a lender of last resort?
Here, and I don't necessarily know that we'll ever distribute all of it. In my mind's eye, there's a possibility where, we end up more of a lending kind of, more of a lender of last resort capacity maybe.
Oh, like a central bank? I love it.
I think that would be a little strange for a software company, and maybe some things would have to change structurally. Maybe we have to have a different organization or something. Who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe you got to buy a bank. Maybe you got to get a bank license or something, like maybe like the licenses Ripple just applied for in Ireland. I don't know.
Because I've always believed from the minute I read the consensus, the white paper on the consensus mechanism for XRP, I believed it had the capability of changing the world.
I do too, Miguel. And I hope you and your family are well and have a happy Thanksgiving. And I hope all of you do as well. Listen, I don't know where this goes, but it gets more exciting by the day, ladies and gentlemen. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.